We are live. That was a little bit of a boo-boo. There we go. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. We are working on a series of marbles tonight. Again, marbles are very popular. They're extremely collectible, and I make some really cool ones. What's up, Bayo? How are ya? Good to see you. Oh my God, who we got? Matt, what's up? Colleen, hello. Laura, how are you? Sorry, a few minutes late. Wind has been crazy, but we're all good now. Power was flickering just a tiny bit. But I think we're all good now. The wind's gone, actually. Like, came and went. What's up, Jenny? How are you, Dragonfly? What's going on? Okay, so yeah. Eccentric Clone, what's happening? What's going on? Who we got? We got Shelby in the house. I'm sorry, my glasses are a little fuzzy right now, and they're a little darker. Eric, what's up? How you doing? All right, so we are working Dichro tonight a little bit. We're going to do a standard item. This one is actually for a client, and then we're going to do some fun stuff tonight. We did have some flooding in our area, yeah, but I'm up pretty high, so I don't have any flooding necessarily. All right, so we got to make a Dichro image, or not image, imprint. Trying to figure out which piece of glue I want to use here. I got a bunch of little pieces I want to use up. This one's going to be pretty intense. We'll use this one. So we're going to make this into a marble. Little shiny version of some fun marble stuff. And we're going to take this right here. And see if I got a smaller rod of this. This is where you got to be really careful. There are some fine details to this you got to be careful with. I did not hear about Mountain Glass. What's up, Groves? KCH, how are ya? Kind of squishy in there. All right, so we got the Dichro here. This is the material we're going to work with. Look how shiny that is. This is actually where the plate comes off, too. You can see that little notch right there of no color. That is where it gets held on to. Gets held right there. Oh, it's no more? Oh, that's too bad. Well, trust me, there'll be another one coming along. Ooh, that got hot. We definitely don't want to do that. Declaring bankruptcy? Well, declaring bankruptcy doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be permanently gone. Just means they might be restructuring, to be honest. All right, so we got to take this and melt it in. But they had it rough. They got hit with that hurricane in North Carolina. That was tough for them. Colleen, RW, Eccentric Clone. Thank you very much, everybody, for the jewels. We are kicking butt tonight. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to start encasing it. Got a little bit there, and we're going to come over to this side. Got a little bit toasty there, but we're okay. Sorry, I got to learn to breathe again when I do this. I never breathe. Thank you, Eccentric Clone. Look for an email from me tonight, by the way, with your tracking. I forgot to send it. There is the dichro, and there is the other side. See how when it magnifies, it kind of has that really beautiful effect. Yeah, I'm thinking they'll probably be back. It's just, it might be just a restructuring. All right, so this is the part that gets a little tricky. This is the actual dichroic side. So we got to be really careful here. And this one is where I kind of take my time right here. I'll probably have to show Groves and Dragonfly this little technique separately. Because there is a specific method for this. So that you don't get burnout. And I'll show you why. Now look at that coloring right there. See how it just magnifies all the color in there when we get it on just right? It almost looks like it has a light in it. There's the other side. See how it's purpley and blue? It's beautiful by itself. We're doing a really cool marble, and then we might do some spacey things tonight. I have a couple things on my mind. We might try something spacey tonight. Let me see if I can get you guys this image here. Watch. Doesn't it look like it has a light inside it when you light it up just right? Like right there. All right, let's turn this thing into a semi marble, and then we're going to add pink. Well, we may not be doing all marbles tonight. We might actually be doing a little experimentation. That's why the title of this is Glassified. We're going to be doing a little bit. I'm going to do an entire series called Glassified. So we're going to be doing spacey, Area 51 crazy things. A little bit of alien craziness, maybe even a Bigfoot. All right, so we got this here. We're going to take it and we're going to twist it all up. In fact, Groves had mentioned this a while ago. For the members and the subscribers on TikTok, and the members on YouTube, what do you think about doing a Saturday for kind of like a member and membership stream? I was thinking that might be kind of cool. So right now we're taking this and we're twisting it up. Yeah, do a members. And I was thinking for the first member tour, like the subscriber and membership tour, so subscribers on TikTok and members on YouTube, I'm thinking of doing a studio tour. It's not much, but giving you a little bit of my layout here. What everything looks like. When I sleep, do I see fire? Not really. No, I don't see fire when I sleep. When I sleep, I dream of socks flying all over the place for some damn reason. I have like socks flying at me. You asked. All right, here we go. Yeah, the studio's not big. That's why I'm going to be getting rid of the oxygen concentrator so I can make room for a lathe. But not having a big studio also will help people figure out layouts because not everybody has a big space to put stuff. Lost your socks? I think so. Maybe drier version there. All right, so we got this here. I'm going to see if we can show a little bit of sparkles. We're going to take our damn time with this. Flying socks. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just crazy. I told you I'm a little weird. Oh my God, look at that blue. Can you guys see that blue? Oh, it looks great. That's the Dichro blue. Did I tell you it was going to look awesome? And there's more Dichro blue. All right, that is the basis of this color. All right, so we're going to do pink on this now. So we have to do pink. All right, we definitely need to trim this off right here. Just a little fuzz nuts. Yeah, that blue is beautiful. That's the electric blue. When Dichro is done right, it is incredibly beautiful. And if you don't know what Dichroic originated from, I don't know the exact original place that they started creating Dichro glass. But I do know it was incredibly, it was advanced a lot during the push for the moon launches. So all of the Dichro was really being tested and just like emphasized during that. So the little golden shields that they used for the moonwalks and the shield and the spacesuits, that is Dichroic glass. All right, so we're adding the pink on here. We're just coming around. So yeah, Dichro was really done a whole lot, was really advanced during that era. No, I could not do a Yankees logo. I don't do any logos. I am not going to get myself in trouble. What's up, Diane? Okay, so we're getting the pink on here. So this particular marble will fit into that little angel wing holder in the front. That's what it is going to be designed to fit into. We sell the marbles that fit into angel wings like that. So sometimes they're done as memorials with ash in them. And then other times people don't want to have the ash inside the marble, but they have like fur or something like that, and they put the fur in the bottom down here, and then the marble sits on top. Diane, thank you for becoming a spark. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. We're going to take this, and we're going to start showing you what the filter. So my glasses have a specific filter on them called didium, and they filter out certain spectrums of light. I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to show you exactly, what's up, CJ? I'm going to show you exactly what I see in my world. So we're just going to drop it right there. Now, you can definitely see the difference between this and that. But that's why these glasses I have on, they have the darker lenses to them. Mine are actually just a shade darker, a couple shades. But yeah, there's a big difference right there. Definitely. All right, I'm going to kind of do a quick check here, right in there. I got to keep it within a certain size. Thank you for the sun balloon, Bayo. All right, we're going to bring it in here and just kind of gently push in. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making when they first start out with glass is being too aggressive with it. You shouldn't have to muscle the glass. It should just flow. Oh yeah, the studio tour is going to be kind of fun. So what I want to do on the studio tour is kind of explain where I have things, why I have them a certain way, access to my tools, how I do things. Doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it. It just means that's kind of the way I set it up. And maybe if you can learn a thing or two from it or pick up a tip or trick, it works. Oh, your mushroom came in? Awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful. Did you get a black light on it at all? Because it should have uranium, I think. Oh, before I attach this, I got to show it to you. So we're going to show you this. Now, with the pink on there, it's really hard to see this. We're going to grab the light, and we're going to flash it on here. I'm going to flash you guys. There we go. Now you can see that blue. Look at that electric blue in there. So that is the basis of this color, is this blue is the focus. Now when you take it away, it goes pink. And then we got the blue. So we got nice electric blue in there. And that is how dichroic is supposed to look. That is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Okay, we're going to attach it right there. All right, next step is we got to cover all this here. I'm pretty sure your mushroom has uranium in it. All right, and then we're going to come through here. We're going to burn this off really nice and easy. Really nice and easy, super easy, not going to get aggressive with it. Dichro does not like to be overheated, so you do have to be a little gentle with it. You have to treat it like you're petting a puppy and be nice and gentle with it. And there we go. So we're just kind of balancing this out right now. Again, this marble is going to be beautiful. This one in particular is sold. The next one that we're going to do, or the next projects, will be available. But this one is currently sold. All right, so we're just kind of blending things in. What happens if you overheat it? The dichroic actually burns out and it turns into like a white snowflake in there. It doesn't look terrible, okay? It's not a bad thing necessarily, but the color is all gone. It turns to more like a white snowflake looking thing in there. How you doing, Myra? I might have a tiny little piece I could show you what happens if you hit it too hard. And that's why when I start off using it, I am encasing the whole thing. All right, I'm going to show you this portion of it before we add the pink, and then we're going to make this thing look really good. So we're going to bring it out. One last look at it before we change it up. There is the electric blue. That's what I'm saying. When it's done correctly, that blue is just outstanding. With. Yeah. So in the sunlight, that's what it looks like. You don't need a light with it. All right, let's encase this thing. This one's going to look really cool on the back end too. We're going to add a little bit of opaque pink and a little bit of shimmer to it. So we're going to make it look incredible. It's definitely on the custom side. And here we go. We're applying the extra color on the back end here. Get it all nice and beautiful. Beautiful. It is borosilicate. Yeah. Definitely some boro. We're gonna get as I'm gonna get as much of this on here as I can. And then we're gonna start doing the extra decorations to it. And a little bit more. I can't make it too big though. It has to fit in that angel wing holder too. So we're going to separate it here. I got to make sure I'm still within my... Ooh, let's get close. What's up, Callie? How are you? All right, so we're going to add in some flavors. I like describing color as flavor. Flavor Town. You're not on the road anymore? No, I'm not in the road anymore. They don't let me in the streets. They don't let me play in the roads anymore. Street lights came on. I can't play in the road. Callie, thank you so much for becoming the Spark member again. Yeah, no bongs, no dongs. Sorry. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to add a little bit of the ash to it. So this is, Red Squeak is correct, this is a memorial. So we're now going to take the ashes that are in here, a little bit of it, and we're going to add it in. I can't do too much to it. I have to add just a specific amount. And they didn't send me a lot. So on the end of this is cremains or ash. The flame is about to change very drastically in color. And we're going to incorporate that on there just a little. I'm going to dip it again. Yeah, they didn't send me very much with it this time. I don't think they had very much. All right, I think that's all I can do. I can't add too much to it. This is going to be swirls. This is going to look beautiful. And here we go. So we're definitely going to mix it up right now. So the cremains are in here, and we're going to start swirling and blending. Turtle. Just plain. No hat, no antlers. Oh, turtle, like a sea turtle or a turtle? That big difference. All right, we got to start adding this around. I'm going to blend all of it in. And we're just kind of mixing it up right now. We're not doing too much. kind of blending and mixing. Think of this as the prep before the cake. This is the batter. My choice. I like making sea turtles. I like the little flippers on sea turtles. I think they look really good. You can go to my site at starrynightglass.com or thefieryguy.com. And actually, you'll want to go to the site, Starry Night. No, no, and no. All right, so we're going to start spiraling this up. And that's where all the memorials are. I forget all the pricing. Sorry, I got an itch and a half. All right, so we got this kind of blobby looking stuff here, and we're going to start spinning it. This is where we're going to make it look really pretty. Going to make it purdy. And it should make the ashes pretty visible. The customer did want them visible, so we are going to make sure they're visible there. And right about there. So now we got an acorn. Damn it, I got an itch and a half. There's something that when your nose itches, someone's talking about you or something. Because right now, whatever's happening, my nose is itching like hell. All right, so now I'm going to bring it out here. Wherever you can see that really bright, bright, bright spot, you're going to get all that color. That's where the ashes are. That is where all the ash is. And we're going to bring it through and start rounding everything out. And now we'll get into a really round piece, and it's going to fit into this little angel wing holder, and it's going to look beautiful. Yeah, I don't do that. Ruckus, if you continue, I'm just going to have one of the mods boot you. Yeah, you're not a fun person to have in here. You're not even a good troll. You're not even a good troll. I can't even rate you. You don't even rate. Sorry, on TikTok there's a troll on there, and they think they're funny, and I can't even rate them. Like, the troll rating is so bad. So if you are new to my channel and there's a troll that comes on here, feel free to rate their troll. So if, like, from 0 to 10, 0 being bad and 10 being a good troll comment, you are more than welcome to rate them. See, like that comment right there, that's so lame. That would be like a 0 troll. That's like 0. It's about it. That comment's about as interesting as belly lint. And I always say I can't think of anything more boring than belly lint. All right, let's go. And we're going to bring it through. They're probably sitting there spilling their, they're probably pounding on their desk, breaking their keyboard, spilling their Slurpee. I don't know. They're probably angry right now. Spilling their Slurpee all over the keyboard, pounding their desk. Their mom's calling up from upstairs saying, "What's the problem?" while they're in their basement. They're saying, "Stop it, Mom. Stop calling me names." What's up, Gorgem? All right, here we go. We're going to see if we fit in here good. And we are good to go. So that's where this marble's going. This is the holder for the memorial marbles. Now, sometimes people have it where we do it without any ash in it, and then they want to put the ash or something in the bottom, like dog hair or something like that. And then the marble just sits there holding it in there. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a good time. I always try and change the theme up a little bit. And then if you watch one of my streams, and after the stream, if you have some ideas about like things you'd like to see made, that if I could do it, I'm always open to people leaving comments about, hey, I've never seen this done. Can you do it? I'm open if you leave a comment. I certainly welcome that. Because without an audience, this channel means nothing. So I'm definitely open to listening to people and seeing how they do all that. All right, here we go. We're going to pop a little holding rod down there. This channel is definitely going to be audience driven over the year. 2026, it'll be audience driven. I have not made a deer. Although I got to be really specific. Last time I said that, I said I might be able to make a deer, and they were referring to a John Deere, the tractor. I got to be careful when I say things. And I was like, no, I can't make a John Deere tractor. It was pretty funny, though. What's up, Gail? Have a good night, Gail. Thank you for hanging with me. This has been 31 years. I started, I pretty much grew up with it. I started about 8, somewhere around there. At 8, I wasn't doing this type of stuff. I was just getting a feel for things. My mom started glassblowing when I was 2. So, yeah, I grew up with it. But full-time, it's been 31 years. It's been a pretty awesome experience. I wouldn't trade this job for anything. And I hope to God I can actually inspire a few people to want to do this as a career or hobby. That would be my happy place, is if people picked it up, even as a hobby, just to kind of keep things kosher. How hard would it be to do a rainbow? An actual rainbow is not easy, but I do have a rainbow ribbon. So we take all the rainbow colors, stripe them down, and then we create like this. It's kind of like a tail off a kite, where it kind of flies around and just has this really cool ribbon look. I do that for my rainbow. I tried neon once. I was terrible. Yeah, I had a friend that does neon in the Bay Area, and they let me try it. Oh my God, I was bad. I was not good at it. 2 things that were a struggle for me. Neon is very hard to, it's a softer glass, so it bends a lot easier. And then 2, you have to do everything backwards. Do you sell the marbles? If so, how much? I do, Tiffany. Every marble has a little bit of a different price range to it. And then it depends if you want to have memorial marble or not. If you go to starrynightglass.com or thefieryguy.com, the Fiery Guy may not have too many marbles on it yet. We're just building it. But Starry Night Glass has marbles on there. The pricing's all over there. You can kind of just go through, and they have drop-down menus, and you can pick it out through there. We also have Etsy. Although I'm trying to get away from Etsy. I'm so sick of Etsy. If you are an artist, do not sign up for Etsy. Yeah, do not sign up for Etsy. I have Etsy. I'm trying to close it. I'm trying to get rid of it. It is become a it's become a money grab against artists. It is expensive. I just looked at an item. We sold, it was $134 in total, and my take home was $95. They took that much money out of there. Etsy puts you in this group that's called. Sorry, I gotta switch this punchy a couple times. I'm so sorry. But Etsy, if you get past a certain point in sales, they put you into this group where they charge you for advertising on Google, let's say. So Etsy advertises on Google and then charges me a percentage of that. Yeah, I'm going to say Etsy. I don't care. If TikTok wants to ban me, let them ban me. It is robbery. It was it's a lot of money coming out. I would rather give the discount to you guys. So that's why we're doing our own website completely. And I'd rather pass the discount down to you guys. You know, I don't want to pay for the CEO's jet. All right, we're almost done with this one. The money you save buying something from me on a website versus Etsy isn't going to afford you a jet, but maybe you can get a Hot Wheel or a Lego. Speaking of which, I got to display my Bob Ross Lego. Dragonfly Creation sent me the most amazing thing. It's a Bob Ross Lego. I love that thing. I'm just worried about it getting burnt. All right, sorry, I'm a jibber jabber this morning, or this evening. I said this morning, holy crap. All right, so I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're doing here and what this is about. We're going to bring it down. I'm hoping I got some good color. We're going to let it cool off for a second. So everywhere that you see this kind of different looking area up here, that's where the cremains or the ash is. So that portion right there has the ashes, that really different looking portion up here. And then this is where you'll see through it to the ash. Now I'm going to switch this punty, and you're going to see this electric blue color coming through. And this is the actual focus of it. Yeah, Etsy was supposed to be for the small business, and then they got greedy. I know. I got to do the Bob Ross. I'll bring the Lego Bob Ross out. I got to find a place to put him where he's not going to get burnt, though. I saw that interactive Legos, but Dragonfly was so cool. Dragonfly Creation sent me a Bob Ross toaster, which is one of my favorite things on the planet. So it leaves an image of Bob Ross in there on my toast. And Bob Ross Legos, or Lego Bob Ross. And it was so nice, so kind. So for those of you who don't know, Bob Ross is one of my superheroes for artistic creative geniuses. I love what Bob did in the world. And if I could get to be 10% of what Bob was, I'd be super happy. All right, so we're going to burn this off here. A little fun fact, if you want to see the most amazing Bob Ross photo, go look at him before he had the afro. Bob Ross looked very much like, how would I put it? A cross between Elvis and I don't know who else. Gene Simmons? No, not Gene Simmons. I'm having a brain problem right now. The Man in Black, the country singer. I can't think of the name. Oh my God. So well known. Country singer, passed away. Amazing artist. What was the name? I'm having a blank. Johnny Cash, thank you. Okay, so Bob Ross Young was a cross between Elvis and Johnny Cash. So go Google Bob Ross looking young, and you will just, it does not even look like him. I was like, man, Bob Ross could have been in the movies. All right, so this one's pretty much done. I'm going to do a double check here. And we do fit in. We're good. Now I got to smooth that out. Touch the bottom, and it kind of built it up a little bit. So yeah, this one fits into this angel wing holder. All right, here we go. You ready for the reveal? This is beautiful. Now look at that electric blue. Look how amazing that gets. So that is the memorial piece. This is by far my most popular memorial on the planet. This particular piece right here. It's about 2 inches in marble size. Fits in that angel wing holder. And it is my #1 seller. Far and above anything else. This is my #1 seller. Now we can do it in pink, we can do it in lavender, we can do it in clear, I can do it with different color backgrounds. All right, we're gonna grab this here. So this is my favorite tool, one of my favorite tools. Dragonfly Creation you see on here is a tool maker as well, her husband. And this is where you get the little marble holders. Take this and boop, off it comes. Sound effects are free. And then we smooth it out. So yeah, if you're a glassblower and you don't have this tool, you are completely missing out. Then I got to do my little shout outs. We got Grove's Glass Gallery and Dragonfly Creation, who are amazing, and glassblowers as well. You definitely got to go check out their site. They are in the process of learning and getting much, much better. But what's nice about watching them is you get the experience of seeing someone progress. You can even still see a little of that blue. Let me see if we can get it one more time. Sorry, I'm so proud of this. It looks so good. There we go. So see that blue? It's just hovering in there, and then it fits in there like that. And then Red Squeak, we're going to get to post some photography. And if you are a member, all right, I got to push this way in the back. That's a marble from earlier today. If you are a member or subscriber on TikTok or a member, and you have a business or a live stream that you want me to give a shout out to, definitely let me know so I can give you a shout out and kind of pump up, collaborate the numbers. So if you are one of my members or subscriber on TikTok, member, let me know. I don't mind giving shout outs for that. Okay, we got to finish this hummingbird. I forgot about it. I made it earlier and I forgot to snip it off. So we did this guy earlier. Now this has a little bit of kind of bubbly in it. Actually, I'm going to see if we can show it. It's got amber purple running through it, but it's not sitting far enough in the kiln right now. Look at those little air bubbles in there. We pocketed these little bubbles in there. It's kind of pretty. All right, there we are. Okay, now we got the hard part done. Got that part all done. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a little bit of spacey alien stuff tonight. What do y'all say? Maybe we'll do a little bit of the silicon chip, the little silicon chip in there. We'll use some dichro, and we'll try a little alien looking funk to it. Doesn't necessarily have to just be a marble. We'll see if we can maybe make a UFO shape. That might be kind of cool. Maybe a little UFO. I do have a kind of cool piece I could show you. Where did I put it? Sorry, I'm just melding this together. You go make a hamburger. I'm making glass. Don't tell me what to do. All right. I gotta wait for it to stop bending. Okay, let me see if I got it. I think I have it nearby. I do. I think it's right behind me. Actually, it might be better. It is. No, crap. It's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Huh. I didn't even pre-plan it. It's just sitting. Yeah, I was thinking with uranium glass. I definitely want to try an alien head. I'm debating on trying the alien head tonight, but I'm kind of scared to do it on live because I've never made one. So I have to cover parts of this up because it is semi-functional. So I made this many, many, many years ago. And it was a prototype. But we got this little guy right here. And there's a tiny little alien in there. I'm going to park this guy right here. Maybe I can shine the light on it. Will you sit semi-normal somewhere? Nope. I'm going to park this guy right here. I'll see if I can shine a light on it so you can see the tiny little alien in it. Right in there. So we put a little, kind of like a Men in Black alien sitting in there. So, but I made this in like 1998. So this was from 1998. But we could try this type of thing out. This was a prototype. Yeah, it does have kind of like that. Kind of like a Jetson, yeah. All right, let's burn up some dichro here real quick. Oh, I was going to show you what dichro does. So if someone was asking what happens if the dichro gets too hot. So I'm going to show you what happens to dichro when it gets hot. I don't know if I want to mess with that blue. I got a bunch of little chunky. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do that blue. I got a little portion right here. We'll just cut it. There we go. So we'll grab it with the tweezers. Okay, hopefully you can see that little bit of blue down here. See how it's got the shiny blue to it? I don't want to burn too much of it up. So there's a side that has glass coating and a side that is dichro, so the metal. So if you hit it too hot with it, I'm just going to stick this in here just for a second. The blue starts to burn out. Of course, now it's not going to do it. But on the bottom of this, you can see it kind of went white. It didn't, the blue went away. And that's what happens to dichro if you hit it too hard. It just burns off. It burns that little metal coating off. All right, you think we should try an alien head? We could try it. I'm not so sure I'm going to figure out exactly how to make it. But I'll try it if you guys want me to try it. I'm going to have to pull up a full-blown photo here. Sorry, I'm just going to pull up an image. All right, let me screenshot this. And it'll give me a little bit of a crap. Really? There we go. All right, so give me 1 second. Let me get this all prepped, and we will try we'll try an alien head tonight. I'm not going to do it out of green just because I don't want to waste the color if it turns out bad, because the first couple tries might be really hard. But give me a second. Let me pull this up, and we will see if we can do that. Sorry, it's taking a second. Really? Just give me 1 second. I'm going to try and pull it up so I have it in front of me all the time. May not work. I don't see it coming up. Damn it. All right, give me 1 second. Let me pop it up. I'll find it. And we'll try it off. I'm going to be a little nervous about this. All right, there's the image I wanted. Okay, so we're going to go visit. All right, so I got the image up, and let's give it a shot. All right. If you guys are ready for it, I'm ready to go. We're going to do it out of clear first. You know what? I got some lime green. We're just going to try it out of lime green. Let me go grab it. We're just going to do it. We'll just go for it. We'll just go. No filters. No reserves. Let's just go for it. I'm going to gather the color right now. We're just going to go for it. If it gets messed up, I'll turn it to a marble. We got it. And we're going to do it. Let me grab one tool here. I kind of prepped this for Alien a while ago. So this is like a little brass tool, and I use it to make eyeballs. And I'm going to bring it here. You can see it's kind of hollow right there. It's hollow. And then I kind of squished it down a tiny bit. And I was prepping for the Alien a while ago. I'm going to squish it just a little bit more, though. There we are. All right, let's sculpt this thing. Mac, have a good night. All right, let's go. And we're going to use you. I'm tempted to just go all in and put dichro in it too, so it has reflective color. You guys think we should do a little dichro in it? What do you think? Make it a little dichroic sparkle in the green? I think it might be kind of cool. I'm going to let you guys vote. Sparkle or no sparkle? Tell me. Give me some feedback. Sparkle or no sparkle? What do you think? Sparkle, sparkle? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, let's do it. I happen to have the perfect little tiny piece here. So first thing we'll do is we'll encase this dichro, and then we will start turning it into an alien head. So I apologize ahead of time. Not everything works out perfectly the first time, so it might be a cluster. It may not be perfect, but you'll be along for the ride with the experience of what it's like to create for the first time. So right now I'm encasing a little bit of the dichro. I'm actually encasing the glass side. So whenever you start doing dichroic, you want to encase the glass side first to preheat the actual dichro. And then we'll encase the dichroic side once the piece is pretty much preheated. I did find a cool one on Google Images. I did. So I've got some really cool stuff set up for 2026. On the horizontal version of the live stream, I've got multiple cameras set up now. I'm testing it right now. I also have an option to be able to insert an image. So like the item I'm making, I can actually insert the image of what it'll look like when it's finished. Or like in this case, if I wanted to insert the alien in there, I could. You know what? I might be able to do that. Let me, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should do it on live. All right, here we go. We got the whole thing encased right now. And we're going to twist it up and get it into a little bit of a galaxy look. Well, that's funny, a galaxy and the alien head. Okay, so we're going to twist all this up. And this is where it's going to get a little bit funky cool. Actually, if I did have it on the screen, I wouldn't have to like switch it around. Then you guys could see the image I'm working with, but it's a lot of extra work on there. I don't want to take the time, have you guys bored. All right, so we're going to build this up a little bit more. Now, this will be a really nice, hi, Katie. This will be a nice lime green when it cools off. Greens, when they're hot, they kind of tend to look brownish. And it's the materials that are used to make it green that create that kind of brown tinge while it's hot. And then when it cools off, it'll be back to its normal green. It'll look really good. And there we go. I'm going to add a lot to this. I want to have a little bit of room to work with it. One of the biggest mistakes on a single piece when you start making things is trying to make it too small. You got to have some room. Okay, so we're just building up some more here. I'm going to add the other stick on the other side into it full blown, and that should be enough, and then we'll start shaping the whole thing. All right, we're going to add another rod to the end here, and hopefully this will be big enough to work with. I'm hoping we are. Hope we'll have enough on it. Okay, we're going to attach there. I'm going to add the rest of this little bit on here, try and make it a little bit bigger. Get some room to work with it. And we're just going to pummel this down. All right. I don't know if I engaged my third. Oh, I did. Thank goodness. It's not any hotter. It just gives me more room to work with it. There we are. Almost done getting the prep done, and we will hopefully get an alien head. I'm not so sure it's going to work, but we're going to try. Okay, separate this. So we're going to get rid of this gap in the middle. We're going to kind of make it into a ball. I do have to reverse the axis. So the dichro is running this way through the rod. I need to reverse it so that when we're looking at the alien head, the dichro runs up and down, not just a little disc around the head. So we are going to have to switch the axis on here. And then after that, we will start shaping. I know, space music would be good, right? I use a company called Epidemic Sound. I'm going to see if they have some spacey stuff. I'm sure they do. Just got to be careful with the music you use. It has to be royalty free. So I got to be careful with what music I use. All right, so we got it almost where we want it. I'm going to use this little nugget right here. We're good there. We're going to put a little punchy here, get the other end rounded out, then we'll switch the axis. Definitely has sparkle in it, though. Now, I am on royalty-free music. If you don't like it, you know what? There's this really cool thing on there. Mute. All right, here we go. Got that going. We're going to meld it up right here. Actually, if you don't want to listen to music, go to YouTube. I don't have it on there. YouTube has no music on there. You had IV treatment? Oh, I hope everything's going good, Diane. All right, here we go. We're going to burn this off. There we go. And it won't break off now. All right, let's get this rounded out a little bit. And we should be good. So we're going to have to layer this a little bit. I'm going to have to build up some 3D versions, some 3D areas on it. If we want to get really creative with it. We're almost there. Okay, we are good. That should be good. Okay, so the next step, we're going to attach a rod here and one over here. We're going to elongate it, kind of make the elongated head, right? I'm going to try and see if we can see the sparkle in it, though. We're going to get there. A little bit of sparkle. See that? Got a little shimmer to it. Definitely has some shimmer. It might look actually kind of cool. It looks like green shimmer, too. There it is. There's the green shimmer. It'll be a Liberace alien. Lots of sparkle. And here we go. Okay, there we are. I'm going to tap that off, and we should be good. Okay. Let's see here. All right, give me a second. I'm going to try something here. I need just a minute. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try it out. And we're going to take this and I don't see an option for this. Sorry. I'm trying to save this and pop it into. I want to be able to put it on screen so you guys can see it too. No, I don't have the option. We're just going to copy it. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can just add it. I don't think I can. Okay, we're just going to get back to streaming. I'll do it without it. We're going to be fine. So we're going to take this, and I got to elongate it a little bit now. What's up, firefighter? Yeah, I have to go through Epidemic Sound and see if I can find the space music part. I would love to play, 2001 Space Odyssey, or what else would be good? There's a lot of good music for space music. All right, so the trick on here is we're going to pull it and try and pull it down. So that's what I'm shooting for right now. We're going to try and bring it down. We're doing an alien head. It may or may not work out. We're going to attach here. I'm going to have to use a smaller flame. We're going to let gravity do a majority of the pull here. Hopefully you guys can see that happening in real time. A little bit further. There. So now we got the kind of shape of the head started this way. I think we're getting pretty close. There we are. Have to go a little bit longer than you think you need, because I can always remove some, but I can't, if I make it too small or go too little, I can't really add to it after that. So it's easier to make it bigger and pull off than the other way around. So right now I'm going to remove this little bumpy bump here. All right, I'm going to pop this window off to a different screen. And there we go. I'm going to shrink it down. So what's nice about having 3 monitors here, I can kind of mess with the monitor a little bit. Oh, crap. Made it disappear. All right, there we go. All right, so now I got a good visual. All right, so we're going to start building the layering of this. We're going to layer it up. There's the initial shape that we're starting with. So that is the alien egghead shape that we're going to start with. And we're going to start doing the layering. We're going to overemphasize everything as we start going through. Like I said, it's easier to remove than it is to try and add to it. And we'll fine tune it as we go through and kind of change things up. So we're building up first layers right now. You can kind of see that little frontal section. I'm building some cheekbones, a little bit of area for where the mouth and jaw will go, kind of jaw. And now I got to create a little section for where the nose will be. Again, I'll be able to trim all this down. And it'll make a lot more sense in a little bit. Katie, thank you for the alien buddy. Okay, and then we're going to come over here. This is going to be where the eyes will go. Right now, I just have to melt everything in there. I'm going to show you in stages as I go, so y'all get to participate with me. So we're starting to get these little sections built up. Okay. There. So now you can see a little bit of some of that three-dimensional that we're working on. Now this is just the initial push. We're not finalizing everything yet. Okay, we're going to start with the eyeballs. And I'm hoping I have enough. I may have to add more on there. I may not have enough on here. This is the part that's really hard. I'm not used to these giant eyes. It feels very weird trying to proportionally do this. My brain is not working well with that. My brain keeps saying it's wrong. All right, I think we're good. So we got the eyeballs started here. We're going to do the impression. I'm going to bring the little UFO out so that you guys can keep an eye on it. We'll do him for some inspiration. We're going to leave him for inspiration there. All right, let's do this push. So the reason I'm doing the eyeballs first, I have to use this to kind of create the impressions. If I work it correctly, it should be really good. If I don't, I can go back and redo it without affecting any of the other portions of the face. So I do this first. Then the rest of it should be fairly easy. So we're going to take this and pop it in there. think we got it. So we got the little eyeballs going there. I think I got to turn one up a little bit. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, that's better. So now we got the eyeballs started. Almost looks like a slee stack from Land of the Lost at the moment. All right, so here we are. We're getting the eyeballs started. All right, here's where the details start coming in. We're going to have to do a little bit of carving. But I think overall it should look pretty good. All I'm doing now is creating the 3D structure for the face. What I'm building right now are kind of where, like, if it had cheekbones, where the cheekbones would be. Then we're going to take this and we're going to carve into it. Got to create sunken cheeks. I want a different tool. That's not going to be good. Let me grab a different tool. I need something a little different for the carving. Ah, perfect. So I need something more blunt instead of sharp. All right, so here we are. So this is where we're at so far. Now, when I get done, it should have a pretty good impression. So this is more of a blunt cornering tool. It'll allow me to kind of carve in the impression without being sharp edges on it. Don't want to overheat it. Got to keep it even. So we just created these little divots in there, these little kind of like little sunken cheeks in it. Now we're going to build up a little bit more of the cheekbone, the nose area. I definitely have to thin this out a tiny bit. Hold on. Carve it in there. We should be good. right, now we need to create the little nose. I'm going to actually push this in a little bit this way too. Okay. And then a little bit right here. We're going to triangle it out, and we're pretty close. Actually, it's not too far off now. It's actually really not far off. So there we are. We're getting it down. Now what's really going to change this effect, we got to get rid of the cone head. So first step is we're going to get rid of the cone head, flatten it out a little bit, and then we'll darken the eyes. That's where it's really going to take effect. Once we darken those eyeballs, it changes the whole look. But we've got to get rid of the cone head. Unless we want to throw a mohawk on it. It's kind of looking like a praying mantis version. I think they call it the praying mantis alien. Little combination of the praying mantis and gray. I am having a fun. I'm in my element. I am a total space nerd. I love making anything spacey. So this is my world. This is my jam. My holiday was absolutely freaking fantastic. Okay, now you can see getting rid of that cone head definitely enhanced the look of it. It's now flattened back out. Now, if I had to redo this again, I would kind of make this a little wider at the eyeball base. It's not big enough right now. It does need some correction for it. But you're starting to see the shaping of it right there. I got to get rid of this chin. I got to pull this chin off a little bit, but yeah. This is experiment. I've never ever made this before, so it's a little intimidating for me at the moment. Doing it on live in front of all of you is a little intimidating, I have to admit, because I've not made this before, and it could be a catastrophic mess. But I guess you don't get more authentic than that, right? All right. I think the nose is good. Yep, nose is good. I think the detail in the 3D and the face is good. Now we just got to do the eyeballs. This is where it's going to take a little patience. I got to dot the black in there. I can't just lay it in there and say, oh, done. I kind of have to do a very structured little blend of it. to try one side first. So there we are with one eyeball on. And we got to do the other side. I just figured out what this looks like. I was making this and I'm like, what does this look like other than an alien head? Reminds me of the Moai on Easter Island. All right, let's blend all that in. Okay, so the eyeballs definitely help adding in there. But it's too narrow. I gotta widen it. This is where me being me. So we're gonna widen it out a little bit. I'm either going all in or I'm gonna just toss it. So we're gonna try widening it out. It's either going to look like an alien or Amish. One of the two. I guess I could create the world's first Amish alien. Okay, notice see how the one side has a little bit more bulk to it, where it's hot right there, and the other side doesn't? It just gives it takes it from Tickle Me Elmo to an alien. Which, if there are aliens, I hope they're not watching this. They're going to come down and give me a probe if I don't make them look good. Oh, you want to make us look bad? You're getting the probe. So right now I'm just blending everything in. So I'm just letting everything gravity melt. I'm not trying to push it too hard. We're going to a little bit on this side, and I think that change did a lot. I don't think I'll be getting the probe. All right, now we just melt it all in. It starts to look like the alien off of the book cover Communion. If you've never seen that book cover of Communion, this is kind of what it's looking like a little. Oh, we are going to carve a little in there. I see one little change. One tiny change. Yes, that was the difference right there. That's it. Sorry for screaming. When I figured crap out, I'm excited. Okay, I'm happy. I'm going to try and get it superheated here. And you might be able to catch it with the details. Now, when this cools off, it is going to look way better. But right now, it just isn't showing all the three-dimensional versions of it. But it definitely has that alien hit to it now. I could probably do a body, but not right now. I'm stressed enough at the moment. But that definitely hits it. We're going to park it in the kiln. We're going to let it kind of cool off. But that is part of that experience. So now you got to see me panic a little bit about having to make this stuff. Look like a baby chicken head. Well, to each their own. Might be a chicken head. Who knows? Be careful what you say, though. You might get the probe if the aliens come down. You might get the probe. I think I'm probe free at the moment. Got to be careful what you say. They might be watching. Get a probe. I don't know if anybody remembers the South Park episode with Cartman. Yeah, well, I'll definitely show that when it's cooled off. It'll look, I think it's going to look fantastic cooled off. I'll try and show it with some lighting to it so that you can see the dimensions to it, like the little bit of angles and the shadows in there. Right now, there's no shadows showing up, and I'll show you what I mean by shadows. So when this is hot, you don't see a whole lot of shadowing to it. But when you add some lighting to it, you can now see the shadows and the carvings in it. And it gives it 3 dimensions like that. So see the difference? Not much there. But when you hit that, you can definitely see all the action to it. So that's what I want to photograph for it. So I want to kind of create that visual for you all. We're going to make a marble, though. We're doing spacey theme. Now I want to make a marble. So this is the silicon from what they used to make wafers, silicon wafers. We're going to chunk that off. I'm going to exit this screen right here because I don't need it anymore. Or should I do the shiny portion? So I have two different versions. I got the shiny version where I can flake this off here. And I have the space rocky version. I like the spacey rock version. I think it looks more natural. Although I've never seen an asteroid up close, so I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, let's just chunk this off. Oh, that's a little harder to break. Break? Oh, I did get some chunks in there. See if I can get a little tiny chunk here. Technically, I shouldn't be doing this with a fire in front of me, but there we go. Now we got a big chunk right there. All right, so we're going to create a space rock. Marblelicious space rock. This one's going to be epic. So we're going to throw in... We're going to do dichro underneath the space rock. Yeah, we're going to do that. Just a little bit right there. Dichroic space rock. And here we go. So this is called dichroic glass. This is the way it looks when we get it, all nice and flat, kind of like a mirrored surface. And we're going to fully encase this and turn it to a sparkling little gem. And then we're going to take an actual piece of silicon, what they make the wafers out of, and we're going to encase that. And we're going to make that little nugget in there floating in like space. What would happen if you swiped your hand in front of the very fast? I'll give you one damn good guess what would happen. I think you're pretty smart to be able to figure that one out. I'll give you one good guess what happens if you put your hand through 4,000 degrees. I have confidence in you. All right, here we go. We're going to encase this. This is the dichro side. All right, I think we encased it perfect. So we got a lot of nice, oh, look at that blue. It's going to look awesome. If you want to say something fast 5 times, say Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's not an easy one. Irish wristwatch. I need to get something to drink real quick. Hold on, before I start this project here. Make sure that we're all set here. I gotta grab something to drink. 1 second. Sweet tea for the win. Yep, asteroid marble with dichro underneath it. Electric blue. It'll remind me of that blue from The Expanse. The TV series, The Expanse. I love that TV series. I know, I can't even say it once correct. Irish wristwatch. Toy boat? I will have Stephanie do that one. She's the one that got me with Irish wristwatch. I have a hard time with it once, like Creative said. What's up, Miss Grinch? Jen, what's happening? All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to start swirling and twirling. Swirling and twirling. Okay. I think we're looking good. Heading to bed? Well, have a good night. Thank you for coming by and saying hi. Training for a marathon? There you go. The only thing I could train a marathon for is the pace car. I could drive the pace car. That's about the only thing I'm good for in a marathon anymore. Unless you want to lay me out in the middle of a course and I'll be an obstacle. Jump over the big dude. In one of those butter 4K things. Okay, so what I did here is we created a little bit of a window. And I have not watched Hot Ones on Netflix. No, I miss watching TV, but I just don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to catch up on shows as it is. Although my favorite show to date now, my new favorite show is Pluribus, or Pluribus, whatever you call it, Pluribus, on Apple TV. That is a weird, freaking cool show. How long is this going to take? 6, maybe 7 minutes? No, this is going to be a while. Number one, it's a kind of a newer piece for me. Number two, I'm just jabbering. So I'm going to talk and have some fun. There we go. And I think we're good. So we got the blue here. So the next step I'm going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put a lot of clear on this side. Then I can encase the little silicon nugget. It's a nugget. We're going to make us a nugget. Jabbering is fun. This is my social area, my social release here. The studio is very lonely by myself. And I don't mind saying that it is. It is a mental drain on me to do this job by myself. Some people work very well on their own and don't need other people around. I do need people. And this interaction between all of you and me is my social engagement, especially while I'm working. So I do thank every one of you for participating, even the trolls. Even the trolls, I thank, for at least giving me something to kind of engage with. And it definitely helps my mental health for that reason. It's just nice to be able to interact with people and talk and jabber, and I get to tell a few things about glass. And explain things about it. And I get to see what's going on with other people. Some of you have become very good friends. How many burns have I had? Not many. I've had a lot of cuts. Tons more cuts than burns. Yeah, I've definitely been cut way more. All right, so I'm building up that little bit of clear here. I'm trying to keep this marble small, but I know it's not going to be small. I guarantee you it's probably going to be big. Don't want it really big. almost there with this section here. All right, we're going to shrink this down now. So this is the little chunk of silicon right there we're going to use. It's actually not a little chunk. That's a big ass piece. Maybe I should do 2 smaller pieces. No, it's big for this, but what the hell? We'll do it anyway, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to smooth out the top of this. We're going to let it cool a tiny little bit. Yes, I made the spiral tubes behind my head. That was done with a different method, though. That is out of the hot shop. Hot shop being the big furnace. Okay, so what's happening right here? I'm going to let it cool just a little bit. And the reason I'm letting it cool is because when I go to put the little piece of silicon in there, I need to make sure that this thing doesn't fall all over the place. So now when I go to heat it up, I'll just heat the top area, encase it, and the sides aren't going to go all wonky on me. And that is the trick. You don't want it wonky. What's up, Ray? What's happening? And there is that electric blue. Look how beautiful that is. So the silicon's going to be riding above that electric blue cloud right there. Isn't that pretty? I don't even know if we're going to back it with a color. I can show the alien head real quick. It's just sitting on a rod right there. I'll bring it back out. I can't show the flashlight because I have too much going on, but so there is the Mr. Alien. I'm waiting for it to cool. It will definitely show some shadows and look a lot better when it cools off. Okay, let's get this thing rocking. This torch is a rockin', don't bother knocking, right? Let's park this right back here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to encase the silicon chunk right now. This is it right here. Wish me luck. So we got to just get the top portion hot. We're going to push it down into it. We're going to bring it back up, and then we're going to melt it in. This is a funky marble, so this will have a piece of silicon from like silicon wafers running through it. It's going to look like an asteroid, like 3i Atlas type asteroid. Underneath it is a iridized blue sparkle color. It reminds me of the show The Expanse, that blue glow. That's exactly what it looks like. Okay, here we go, and we're going to prop it in. Like that. Now we just popped it on there, okay? It's a little off center, but that's okay. I'll fix that. Then we're going to encase it fully with glass, which is right here. So we have to heat it up very slow, and we'll fill it just very gentle. Mike, thank you so much. Chill stream, thank you. Interest, thank you, Mike. Big shout out to Mike. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to make a really fun, exciting stream that is kind of low key. All right, here we go. I mean, we'll do some fun challenges, but you're not going to see me jumping off a parachute glass blowing. Here we go. Encased. And we're good. I'm trying to bring a little bit of a different vibe to the streams for glassblowing. I always say if I can inspire one or two people to kind of pick up the trade as a hobby or a profession, that'd be really cool for me in my world. I feel really good about that. So that's kind of my side quest on this job. Okay, I got that looking really good in there. I'm going to try and center it up. It's a little off center. We're going to try and center it up a little. Run that flame exactly right there. Oh, we're good. This is a big chunk, but it looks really good. And oh, wow. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Wonder if you could blow on the flame of a hot air balloon? Yes, I've done actually a hot air balloon ornament. It was really, really pretty. It was, I think Faith had purchased it. But anyways, it was a hot air balloon ornament, and it had glow in the dark. So the balloon itself glows in the dark. Which was a little side benefit. All right, so we're going to bring it out here, and I'm just going to start rounding this out a little bit. And we're going to work on the back portion of this now. I'm trying to keep this marble small. If I could keep it in the 2-inch range, I'm going to be happy. All right, I'm going to bring this out, and you're going to see that little chunky monkey sitting right in there. So we got a little chunky monkey asteroid sitting in the marble. So this is silicon from a silicon wafer, a broken one. It didn't make it past the inspection phase. So they sell off bad portions. They're still very usable, but really good. Badass, thank you. Mama. Wendy, thank you. Okay, so we're going to bring this in here. And now you can see kind of that, well, there it is. That's the little silicon wafer or chip floating in there. There it is. So that is floating in there right now. Then we got the dichro underneath it. And we're going to back it with some uranium. We're going to definitely throw some uranium at this, have to. Well, 2 inches is really nice for a small table. It also works really good at a desk. So if you got a keyboard and you work at some place where you got to look like you got to pretend you're working and the keys are pressed. So you can set the marble on the keyboard and it makes it look like you're working. And then when your boss comes around, take your marble off, put it back on your desk, and it's decoration again. Not that I endorse anything like that. Wink. There we go. Roseburg. I know where Roseburg is. I should organize a Bigfoot hunt here, though. Not a hunt. I don't want to hunt Bigfoot. I just want to hang out with Bigfoot. I would not want anybody hunting Bigfoot. Not cool. All right, so we're going to pop a little punty here. Ooh, there we go. Okay, next we're going to take this and we're going to start adding color to the back end where the dichro is now. This is going to make the dichro look absolutely awesome. It's going to be amazing, to be honest. All right, first step is we're going to add in some uranium. If I was uranium, I'm going to have to grab one up here. So uranium glass is the stuff that glows really super bright green like that under blacklight. It doesn't need a blacklight to have a really cool color to it, but anyway. Actually, I'm going to park it right underneath it. I'm going to make the whole bottom uranium. Little uranium goes a long way. Okay, there we are. Next, we're going to grab the electric, the liquid metal looking glass. We're going to pop that in there. We're making a funky marble right now. Not funky, kind of space themed. We took a little chunk of silicon and we encased it so it's looking like an asteroid. And then we're going to add some really wicked colors on the bottom down here of the marble and hopefully create a simulated asteroid floating through space in a marble. And that is the goal. Whether or not it works, I don't know. Are the uranium rods are hard to get? No, they're not super hard to get. They're just expensive. So uranium glass runs roughly $150 a pound. And so, yeah, it adds a lot of cost to the actual glass projects. But they're not super hard to get. There's only one company really making them right now. And when they do, just go in and buy it. $150 a pound. They're not selling out that fast. I got into this, Tammy, because of my mother. My mom started glassblowing when I was 2 years old. So I pretty much grew up with it. All right, we're going to take these colors and we're going to swirl. There's my Italian thing for tonight. We're going to swirl and twirl. Here we go. So what I refer to on this technique is I call it finger painting. It really reminds me of like when I was a younger kid in class, art class, they had finger painting. And part of it. And this kind of reminds me of that style. So we're coming through and we got everything kind of blended. It's kind of a tie-dye finger painting combination hybrid funk cool. So that is what it kind of reminds me of. What art did my mom make? She specialized in clowns. I'll show you one of her clowns if you want. If you want to see one of my mom's clowns, go ahead and type 1 in the chat, and I will drop it in the screen. We'll just bring it in. Yeah, she made some pretty amazing glass, to be honest. All right, I will grab it. You guys are making me work today. All right, oh, there it is. Way over there. So this is one of her pieces from a 1991. So this is a fireman clown that she created. She specialized in clowns, so she made like 50 different designs of clowns. And they range from the fireman clown to a rodeo clown to all kinds of different stuff. I'm going to park this guy over here. So yeah, there were about 50 different designs. Yeah, you might be able to find one of her clowns on eBay every once in a while. Sometimes people sell them. They don't even know what they have. Okay, I kind of got this thing off of center right now. I got to get it recentered, so I have to kind of recenter it real quick. There we are. So now we got uranium and the kind of liquid metallic color, and then in between there is the dichroic glass, all sparkly. We're going to use some black right now, and we're going to encase the whole thing in black and make it just look amazing. And here we go. So I'm just going to run all the way around the whole bottom of this. And then that is going to make everything underneath look so much brighter and better. Oops, lost track right there. Got off center. We can come through and fix it though. There we are. So this black background actually kind of makes everything on the inside pop out a lot better. And like that, we are good to go. So now we have the back end all covered in black. We're going to take a little bit of sparkle green, slide it through there, and then we're going to finish this marble up. We're pretty close to actually being done. We're not that far off. Yeah, we're not that far off. We're actually in really, really good shape right now. The hard part's all done. So I haven't used the filter in a little bit. This little filter here is exactly what my glasses are made out of. Although I have an extra shade on here, a welder shade number 3. This one's 5 actually. Shade 5. And what it does is it filters out certain light spectrums. And we pop it in and look, magic. Just like that, abracadabra, you no longer see the bright, bright flame. And back. Kick it on like that. Watch. Abracadabra, abracazoom, whatever it is. Here's the heat. Gotta get way out here. It's hot. But see, now that's how I see the world. Versus that. Lets you see into the fire a lot better. Okay, we're going to take a little sparkle green and we're going to run it through, design it. Kind of just random designs in here. I might even throw a little uranium on the outside as well. Yep, this is sparkle green. And I don't care what it looks like, I just need it random on here. I don't want a lot, just like that. Same thing with the uranium, we'll pop that on there. And then we'll blend everything together, and this will be the final bit of color we're going to add before we round it out. I'm thinking this marble's going to be pretty epic. I was not planning on doing this much to it. So this is the uranium glass. We're just going to chunky monkey it right here. And that's enough. We're good there. We're going to blend some black, some clear, and round this out. We are pretty much done. Now we just have to round everything. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we got all that going, and I'm just going to blend everything around. Just kind of, boop. So we're just going to randomly swirl this. A little bit of black, and then we'll use some clear, lots of clear to kind of give it that full effect. Like this. All right, I think we're good. We only need 3 of that. Let's grab some clear and finish this lovely little marble up. Yeah, we're going for it. I'm actually going to throw amber purple on there. We're going all out on this. We're going all out. This thing's looking epic. Might as well make it incredible. We're throwing amber purple on here. No filter, no plan, no nothing. We're just going for it. Yeah, this is going to be like super epic. And there we go. Oh man, I can't wait to see this one done. I am telling you, this one is going to be freaking insane. This might even be a total keeper. I don't know. Might even be worth keeping. I don't know. All right, Now, here we go. We're going to go full bore. We're going to start turning it into full-blown marble now. No more color. We're done with color. And let's get this thing into shape. There's definitely a lot of work in this one. Way more than I anticipated. It's much bigger than 2 inches. That's okay. We're going to bring it here and make sure the flashlight's out of the way. We are doing good on time. I'm going to grab a quick drink. I need some sweet tea. It's been draining. Sorry. Had to get something to drink. And here we go. No, I see you, Melissa. Every once in a while, your name's kind of grayed out, though. I don't know what that is. But I see you, Melissa. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to see the chat. But we're all good. Where's my shop? In Washington. I am located in the Pacific Northwest, looking for Bigfoot as a side quest. Fritz is doing fantastic. Yeah, Bigfoot is my side quest. And here we go. So now we're just letting gravity do 99% of the work, and then we'll use the graphite mold down here to kind of help shape it. It's only going to fine tune it. Most of it has to be done by hand, by gravity. We're making a giant marble. Well, not giant. It's a bigger marble. Belle, thank you so much. So this is a bigger marble, roughly a little bigger than 2 inches. And it has a little chunk of silicon in it from like making silicon wafers that makes it look like an asteroid. And then we got a really sparkly looking glass called Dichroic in there. It looks like a little mini galaxy. Have some uranium glass, which is this black light reactive stuff here. I'll use that for the hummingbirds. So the birds just lit up and the marble right here lights up. That is the uranium glass. And that's what everything is in it right now. So we threw the kitchen sink at it. Yeah, the heat waves, actually, I kind of like the heat wave showing up. I think that looks cool. It's not an expensive camera though. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Bale. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, we're getting close. I'm kind of worried that I got stuff in my marble mold though. 1 second. Okay. I didn't want to start rolling it in the mold and pick up little junk in there. Yeah, that is for the membership. I know. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay. Man, I don't know if this is going to be a keeper for myself. I'll probably put this available for sale, and if nobody bids on it right away after I show it, not tonight, but after it's completed, I will probably be very happy keeping it. It is epic. Because that is one big chunk of silicon in there. All right, we're going to start shaping. Right now, we kind of have a dragon egg shape. All right, before we get too far, though, I'm going to change my microphone real quick. I think this is going to die. Pop that guy off, and this one in. Okay, sorry. I was worried the microphone was going to die out. How many pieces have I kept? Not many. I got a beautiful dragon dagger next to me. That's one of my favorite pieces. I love the dragon dagger. Makes me feel like a pirate. All right, so now we're gonna reverse this. What are the two coolest and hardest things? I don't know about necessarily the hardest. I like my dragon dagger. I have a 4-foot glass sword behind me. I don't know if it's like the hardest. It wasn't the hardest to make, but it's one of the coolest pieces. Yeah, so sparkles are created with the metals. If you want an interesting read, go look up dichroic glass. Dichroic glass is used a lot in photography too. So how dichroic is kind of made, the rough version of it is they put a sheet of glass in a vacuum chamber and they superheat the metals in there. Like take silver, you superheat it and it turns to a gas, and then they vacuum the metals out, and that vacuum pulls the metals onto the sheets of glass and coats it. Depending on the order of operations of which metals you use, you get different colors bouncing through the dichroic glass. And I know it takes roughly about 55 layers of metal to get the dichro looking semi-good. All right, I got to pull this little chunky monk off here. But it's an interesting read. It was really enhanced during the Apollo missions for NASA. Myra, you found one of the clowns? Yeah, she always signs the foot. Yes. Yeah, Mom always signed the foot, Vicky. That's how you know it's one of hers. The biggest marble I've made is about 4, I think it was about 4¼ inches. It was just over 4 inches. I will never do it again. It was way too big, too hot. It burned my chest. The radiating heat burned my chest. And after I did that, I swore I wouldn't do another one. So now we're getting it round. And you can see that, look at that little chunk floating in there. That is a chunk of silicon in there right now. It will look like a floating space debris sitting in the marble. With a galaxy behind it. Good night, Colleen. Okay, I just have to get rid of this gap in the middle. This is taking a minute, but there's a big gap in there. need to get rid of that. And here we go. This should eliminate that gap. Well, partially. We're almost there. This is not far off from being done now. It's not very far. Definitely see that chunk sitting in there now. So it's a chunk of silicon just floating in there. Look how shiny it is. I have to keep it moving because that is still moving around in there. And I'm going to show off this little piece right here. We're going to try and bring it in and get the flashlight on it. Oh, that's the black light there. Now you can see that blue sparkle running behind it and underneath it. And look how the little chunk of silicon's creating a shadow on that dichro. It's creating a little shadow effect. And there it is there. I told you this is going to be an epic piece. Last little transfer up here. And then I got to smooth out the back end, and we'll do one more transfer after that and finish this marble off. And here we go. So this is how you get them round. You got to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But we're getting all the color worked out of it. All the little cave-ins, the color that's not working right. We're blending everything in. Gonna pull this little bit right here off. And we're going to smooth all this out. A little bit of heat there. I'm having so much fun tonight. Guys, thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it. One little spot. We're like right there. Let's go to a more fine flame. We're going to crank the heat up. Sorry, the noise is going to get a little loud for a second. All right, that should do it. Now we just have to round it. Yeah, that's good. Right there. That is good to go. smooth it out. Well, last transfer we have to do for the night on it. And this one is going to be called Done. I can't wait to see this one done tomorrow. It's going to be so beautiful. Yep, apparently Mountain Glass is closing. But, you know, where one goes away, another one will come back. They were good people, and I'm sad to see them go, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, here we go. Last little bit. Be nice to me. Don't give me any problems. Be kind. Be kind. There we are. Yeah, baby. That looks good. Eat it. I don't know if you guys have seen my short video on YouTube, but I can't believe I still watch that thing. I can't believe I said "eat it." I've never said that. Now I can't get it out of my head. And we are done with this. We'll have to pull it off the stick, but yeah, man, this thing is amazing. I do have special lenses, yes, 100%. These are actually factory stock glasses. These are not anything special, to be honest. And here we go. So, wow, you don't even need the light. Look at that blue coming through now. Can you guys see that blue echoing through there? But this is where it gets awesome. There we go. So that's all the color behind it. And then we got that little tiny chunk of silicon floating through there with the blue. Now, I'm not going to show this to you until we get it off the stick, but you can kind of see peeking on the bottom down there. Wait till you see the other side. What does Stephanie like? Oh, I don't know. She likes all kinds of stuff. As far as what? I mean, I don't know what you're referring to, like in life or. Here we go. So to get it off the stick, we do that. We geet it. And there we go. Stephanie's, she likes a lot of stuff, but she's not a big collector of things. You know, she's more of a, you know, want to take vacation type of thing. All right. So you guys ready for this reveal? So you saw the front, right? Here we go. Looks ordinary, right? Here we go. Look at all those colors bouncing through. How about I get it in the screen? Then there's the front again. This has so much color running through it, it's insane. All right, got to go in the kiln though. And then I'll bring out the alien head again. Mom's doing good, right? She's doing good. So there's the alien head we did earlier. I'm waiting for it to cool because it will show the dimensions right now. Kind of has a real funky look at it. Once I pull it off and we kind of trim it down, it'll look a lot better. Once that one cools off, it's going to look really good. But right now it's kind of in this funky stage where it's hot and you can't see the dimensions. Okay, I definitely need to call it from here. It has been 2.5 hours of streaming. Thank you so much for making my night. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging with everybody. You are amazing people to hang out with. Mods, thank you very much for always keeping everything on par and watching my back with the chat. So thank you very much. I really appreciate all the moderators for helping out, and we will talk to you very soon. Yeah, it's been 2.5 hours of streaming. Need to take a short break. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night.